Hi, I'm Kristin Omdahl and welcome to my studio. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make the Lia Crochet Capelet. Follow the link in the video description to download the single pattern or to download the Layers Crochet ebook, which features this pattern, and also to order your yarn kit special. In the beginning of the video, I want to show you how to navigate the pattern. Then moving on, we will crochet the first few rows of the pattern so you get a feel for the stitches that you'll need. And at the end of the video, I'll show you how to use a beading needle and some beautiful crystal beads to bead the final edge of the capelet if you so choose. Let's get started. In the beginning of the pattern, it will show you what kind of yarn, what size crochet hook, and what type of accessories you're going to need to make this project. It will also show you specifically what yarn I used to make this project. This used 2 balls of Be So Fine yarn in colorway Sangria. Gauge is not critical for this project, but if you are worried about gauge, you can take a measurement through rows 26 through 33. It also tells you the finished size, so if you're not worried about gauge, it's possible that your finished size may be different, smaller or larger, depending on the difference in your gauge. So if this is important to you, you would want to follow the gauge measurements. It also tells you a stitch guide of what particular stitches you're going to need to know to make this project. And if you need help with any of these stitches, there is a link in the video description to go to all of my crochet stitch library videos where you can see right hand, left hand, and slow motion of all of these stitches. Then there's a special stitch instruction, and this is because we have a special shell in this pattern, which is 4 double crochet, chain 3, 4 double crochet. So anytime you see the word shell in the pattern, this is what it's referring to. And then you can see we have charts. There are multiple charts in this pattern. The first chart is how to get started in the pattern. And then moving on, it shows you a repeat of the pattern because beyond this row here, it gets too large to see it on a single piece of paper. Let's get started with our yarn and our crochet hook, and we're going to follow along on the first chart to do the first couple of rows of the capelet. We'll be using a size G hook, which is 4 millimeter, and I'll be using Be So Fine yarn in colorway Tuscan Terrace. You want to tie your yarn to your crochet hook. You may use a slip knot, a square knot, it doesn't matter. However you prefer to tie your yarn is perfectly fine. And then we're going to chain 5, slip stitch into the 5th chain from our hook to form a ring. Chain 5, and slip stitch into the 5th chain to form a ring. You don't count the loop on your hook, so we're going to count back from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slip stitches, insert your crochet hook, yarn over, pull through the chain and the loop on your hook. Row 1 has a chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and we're going to work 8 more double crochets all in that chain 5 ring, not into the individual chains, but in the chain space in the middle, that ring. So our double crochet is yarn over your hook, insert your hook in the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Notice that I'm working around my tail as well. If you work around your tail with the ring, you can hide your tail as you go, and it'll be one less end to weave in at the end. We'll do another double crochet really slow, yarn over, insert your hook in the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We need 6 more so that we have a chain and 8 double crochets to count as 9 double crochets for our first row. And this is what the end of row 1 should look like. Row 2 begins with a chain 3 and turn our work. We're going to work 2 double crochets into that first stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and we'll do 1 more. So we have a total of 3 double crochets in that first stitch. Chain 1, skip the next stitch. In the next stitch, work 3 double crochets. And our repeat across this row is chain 1, skip 1, 3 double crochets in the next. Repeat that all the way across. This is what the end of row 2 should look like, and you should have 5 sets of 3 double crochet sections. Row 3 begins with a chain 1, turn our work, single crochet in the first stitch. Single crochet is insert your hook in the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook. We're going to chain 7, skip the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the chain 1 space, and single crochet in the next stitch. Chain 7, skip the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next chain 1 space, and single crochet in the next stitch. And you want to repeat this all the way across. On our last repeat, we chain 7, skip the next stitch, and single crochet in the last stitch. And this is what the end of row 3 should look like. And you should have 5 chain 7 spaces. Row 4 begins with a chain 1, turn your work. In the chain 7 space, we're going to work a bunch of stitches as follows. 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 double crochets, 2 treble crochets, 1 double treble crochet, 2 treble crochets, 2 double crochets, 1 half double crochet, and 1 single crochet. Okay, so to recap what we did in that chain 7 space, we did 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 double crochets, 2 treble crochets, 1 double treble crochet, 2 treble crochets, 2 double crochets, 1 half double crochet, and 1 single crochet. Row 4 begins with a chain 1, turn your work. In the chain 7 space, we're going to work a bunch of stitches as follows. 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 double crochets, 2 treble crochets, 1 double treble crochet, 2 treble crochets, 2 double crochets, 1 half double crochet, and 1 single crochet. Okay, so to recap what we did in that chain 7 space, we did chain 1, 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 double crochets, 2 treble crochets, 1 double treble crochet, 2 treble crochets, 2 double crochets, 1 half double crochet, and 1 single crochet. And this is what it should look like at the end of row 4. Row 5 begins with a slip stitch in each of the first 6 stitches. So we're going to turn our work. Sometimes I find it easier to just skip the first stitch, so I'll slip stitch into the second, third, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Chain 3, which counts as a double crochet in the same stitch. In the next stitch, we're going to work 2 double crochets, chain 3, and 2 double crochets. In the next stitch, we're going to work 2 more double crochets. Okay, so that's what our that's what our shell should look like here. Then we're going to chain 3, skip the next 11 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then work 2 double crochets in the next stitch. In the next stitch, work 2 doubles, chain 3, and 2 doubles. Two doubles in the next stitch. Chain 3. And this is what you're going to repeat all the way across. This is what the end of row 5 should look like. You should have 9 chain 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Each of the Row 6 begins with turning our work, and we want to slip stitch into each of the first 4 stitches and the chain 3 space. Sometimes it's easier to just skip the first stitch, so we'll slip stitch into the second, third, fourth, and into the chain 3 space. We're going to chain 6, which counts as a double crochet chain 3 and double crochet in the same space. Chain 3, treble crochet, chain 3, treble crochet in the next chain 3 space. Chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the next chain 3 space. Chain 3, treble crochet, chain 3, treble crochet in the next chain 3 space. And you want to repeat this all the way across. This is what the end of row 6 should look like. You should have 17 chain 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Perfect. Row 7 begins with a chain 1, turn our work. We're going to single crochet in the first chain 3 space. We're going to work 4 double crochets, chain 3, 4 double crochets in the next chain 3 space. And that's a shell. Single crochet in the next chain 3 space and work the shell in the next chain 3 space. 4 double crochets, chain 3, 4 double crochets. And you want to repeat this all the way across. 8 should look like. This is what the end of row 7 should look like. You should have 8 chain 3 spaces or 8 shells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. We're ready to begin row 8. We're going to chain 1, turn our work, and single crochet in that first single crochet. Chain 2. In the next chain 3 space, we're going to work 4 double crochet, chain 3, 4 double crochet. So we're going to work another shell. 4 doubles, chain 3, and 4 doubles, all in the same chain 3 space. Chain 2, single crochet in the next single crochet, chain 2, and shell in the next chain 3 space. And we're going to repeat this all the way across. This is what the end of row 8 should look like. You should have 8 shells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Before we begin row 9, which is the last row of all of the things that you're going to need to know how to make this shawl, everything else past row 9 is a repeat of something else you've seen, but with more stitches so that we can get growth for the capelet. So before we begin row 9, I want to show you an option for adding beads to the final row of your capelet. And in order to do that, we're going to have to cut our yarn and fasten off so that we can string beads to the yarn. Now, I have lots of different colors of crystal beads in my shop, and you can choose from a whole bunch of different colors to go with all the different beautiful colors of Be So Fine yarn. But today, I thought with Tuscan Terrace, I thought the color that would look the prettiest with this, although anytime you're unsure, Crystal AB crystals, the clear ones with the AB finish, look good with any color. So anytime you're unsure, that's always a good place to start. You're also going to need a beading needle, and I do sell these in my shop as well, so you can find a link for those. And it's a great size because it has a large eye for threading yarn through. So it has the eye large enough for the yarn to come through, but the whole thing is fine enough to easily slide the beads through as well. So you're just going to string the beads onto the yarn. See how easy that is? So easy. When you have the right tools, it's just awesome. So because where I'm at in this swatch, I only need 8, I'm going to thread 8 beads. The pattern will tell you how many beads you need for the final row of your capelet. And the 4mm bicone crystal beads are the right size for the fingering weight Be So Fine yarn. They slide easily through here, so if you did want to do a really large project with beads, you could string a lot of them on here and they'll slide no problem. All right, so we've got our 8 on here, so we can take our beading needle off of the yarn. Okay, and then we'll tie our yarn back to our crochet hook to begin row 9. And basically what you're going to do is exactly the same as you would do without the beads on there. We're just going to slide a bead up before any particular stitch. So within the shells, I thought the prettiest place to put the beads would be in the center of the chain 3 spaces here. So I'll show you how we're going to do that. First, we're going to slip stitch to join in the single crochet. If you were working 9 row without having fastened off first, you would chain 1, turn, and then single crochet into the single crochet from the previous row. And then we're going to chain 4. And the instructions say to do a shell in the next chain 3 space. Well, the shell is 4 double crochets, right? Chain 3, but on the second of those 3 chains, we're going to add a bead. So we're going to chain 1, then we're going to slide one of these beads all the way up to our crochet hook, just like that, and then do our second chain, then do our third chain, and look at that, we've got our bead perfectly placed in the center of our chain 3 space. If you've never done crochet with beads before, can you believe how easy that is? And we'll finish our shell now with 4 more double crochets, all in that same space. There we go, our shell is done, and we have our beautiful little rose AB crystal popping out in the middle of the shell. Chain 4, single crochet in the next single crochet, chain 4, and then we'll do another shell in the next chain 3 space, starting with 4 double crochets, and a chain 3, but we're going to replace the second chain with a bead chain 1 so we can get a bead in the center of that chain 3 space. So we did chain 1, slide your bead right up to your hook, then chain 2, and then chain 3. And you see we've got our bead right in the center chain of that 3 chain space. And we'll finish our shell with 4 more double crochets in that same chain 3 space on the previous row. And now we have another beaded shell. Chain 4, single crochet in the next single crochet, chain 4, and I'll show you the beaded shell one more time. 4 doubles, chain 1, slide a bead up to your hook, chain 2, chain 3, and then 4 more doubles. And then you want to repeat this all the way across. This is what the end of row 9 should look like. You should have 8 shells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is also what it will look like when you add a bead to the center of each shell if you're going to add beads to the final row of your capelet. Everything you need to know how to make this project is in these first 9 rows. Follow the link in the video description to download the Lia Crochet Capelet pattern or to download the Layers Crochet ebook that features this pattern. There you will also find options for ordering Be So Fine yarn in a special promotion kit, and you can also order the crystal beads and the beading needle if you would like to bead this project. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you in the next video. For those of you that don't know me, I am an author, designer, entrepreneur, single mom, and a teacher. I hand dye and sell many beautiful yarns. I'm the author of dozens of crafting books and hundreds of free patterns. Have you seen my YouTube channel? There you can find hundreds of how-to videos on knitting, crochet, crafting, cooking, DIY, jewelry making, and so much more. I also host a live stream podcast on my YouTube channel 6 days a week. You can join me live at sunrise at the beach. It's so much fun. It is called Create, Share, Inspire Podcast. I do hope you can join us. Ask Me Anything live. It's a lot of fun. I also have a charity, Project Kristin Cares. A portion of every sale from my brand supports survivors of domestic violence. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.